Hello everybody, let's see if we are live. Seems we are live now. Okay. Hi there. Hey Scotty, nice to see you there. And we have today another live stream. Some people have here a symphony class in the Netherlands, but mostly for the young kids. Although we adult kids always like also to get some presents. And yeah, what today I wanted to show you that we are working on B.I.T on a new version, and I'm fiddling around with it, creating some new presets. We will have a preset bank. This one I just created, save preset. We will have a preset bank from Sanguinea project. I cannot pronounce that one. Huh, that happens, but it has some interesting sounds. Sequences. So just play a few. Yeah, some very nice sounds. You see, in total 90 presets, so we are tagging them and checking them on volume, and then of course make it a NCAS compatible. So we convert the presets for the people who use the NCAS keyboard. Some effect sounds. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it's definitely a synthesizer where you can do some very cool sound effects with. I was two things I like to mention. Of course, we just released the little update from Punch-2, and not really little, because we had quite some things we added to it. So if I go here, let's play. Where is it, baby? Yeah, here it is. So we added the some new slices, which you can find. So if you have Punch-2 and you did not download yet the latest version, please do. We have some new presets, some new beat ring grooves, which is used combined together here with the built-in sequencers. So a bit of a disco type thing going on here. The pads are a bit better visual if you select them. So you see here now, slice 11, it has this lighting up circle around it, which makes it a bit easier to work with. So if I pick here a bass drum, you see it's a bit more clear which pad you are editing. And in this case, it's a acoustic bass drum. Okay, I'm checking the chat room. Everything is okay. Seems to be audio okay. So some other things changed also, which I mentioned already last week, is that the if you have a slice and did a audio slicing, is that it locks this sequence. Because if you have here, for instance, 14 slices and you map slice, then it's on lock, which means that if you then pick another pad also a slice, that this has no influence in playing back the sequence, because it uses the pads for playing back the sequence. If you go to the pattern page, you can see the keyboard layout. So this note here, most likely you can see it also playing me on the keyboard. This is the audition one, G3 sharp. And this is playing the loop play. Loop play is playing back. This one triggers the groove 1 to 4, you know. And of course, we work now on a system which also will appear here, where you have a sequence mode. So in Audition, it does appear then as sequenced mode. And then you can say, okay, let's play first a part of groove 1, then add groove 2 after a certain time, so that's a bit less of a repeating thing. The audition is of course quite repeating, but if you play live things you always can stop hitting the notes and the sequences stop playing. So we have some new presets on board. This one I use in the sequence, so let's open another one. So here we are. Oh, this one also uses a slice. Nice. Okay, where is the slice? It's here. It starts at 17. This is a drum loop, but this one is throw in inside a Vox filter. So what I did here is 17 until 24 are the slice pads, and I pick here combined slice and throw them all in the Vox filter. So now the drum loop, if it's without the Vox filter, you have a normal drum loop, and if you put on the one of the many filter types, in this case Vox, you have this. By the way, this is showing Q, but should be the vowel, of course. So it makes a weird combination. So the one, let me show you another preset. Mike here did in a preset, and I add a loop to it, and that made it very typical. So these were essentially only sound effects. This is nice. So I added a groove to it, so it's really typical in the terms of grooves. And then I use in one of them, let's see where it is. That's a new preset which is called a shuffle groove. This is a 70 beats shuffle groove. Of course I need to go down with the tempo, so if you see here down here, this the tempo should be 77, so I do this inside. So, okay, so here we have the slice starts on pad 16, and I did a few things, so these are the slices, but 19 for instance goes to the reverb. So could also do it this way and then combine it with the other stuff, and you get a very strange sound effects shuffle. Yeah, we add the Vox filter also to B.I.T because essentially B.I.T is of course a virtual analog machine. But if you can recall the Roland vocoder string keyboard, it had also choirs, and these are pretty good done possible with the Vox filter, of course, which is a combination of filters together to make this A sound or U or E sound. So that's going to be also added, not currently in the B.I.T, but we go to B.I.T very soon in a second. So I'm showing a few of the new presets. The introduction bank, I did get a few more presets to show. I used also, of course, this very famous drum loop. I made a lower tempo version of it. Let me see where this one is. I need to find it, of course. Hip hop, 100 beats per minute. Let's make it 100 beats per minute. So the original loop is 137 beats per minute. So I did tune it down, really did transpose it essentially to get also this grainy sound. If you do, of course, time stretching, that's maybe too perfect. So if you have a drum loop and you down tune it or you increase the tuning, it also gives a certain type of sound to it. So this is hip hop with 100 beats per minute. So if I hit the note A3, you see this is the famous Amen loop from these brothers. So you see here we have, of course, the if you go to the pattern page, groove 1 is playing bass drum. So I could also use only this groove 1 together with the loop play. Now groove number 2 does the hi-hat, which is a synthesized hi-hat. Then we have groove 3, let's see, cabasa. It's this pad number 16, if you go, it's even synthesized. It's a synthesized cabasa. It's not even a rig one. This is really synthesized, because if I change here, let's say the amp envelope, let's see, make it longer. You see, it's really a synthesizer thing, just like how a cabasa is made in an 808, for instance, which is a short noise. And then we have here claps on groove 4, and break 4 is on the note G3, and this one plays half beats. You see, this sequencer in break 4 is half speed, so therefore it appears half time. So together. So this is the same loop as I used in this preset, which is then, let's go, manager. So I use it 3 times here to Amen groove 137 beats per minute. That's the original one. Also, so this is the original speed of this famous drum loop. This is the original one. And of course you find these, okay, slice 1, all kind of variations here. So, also combined with the sounds from Punch. And then there is, of course, this version with 154 beats per minute. So that's pitched up. Let me see, where am I? Of course, and I'm in my studio, but I mean in the presets here, 145. Let's go to 145, and then you got more drum and bass type of thing. So yeah, and here also. It's nice snare, isn't it? Very spacey. Let's see which pad is this. It's pad number 13. Okay, snare. This is one of the built-in ones. So I think I did sample a snare, did make it lo-fi, resample again, and that kind of thing. Makes it very sure, you can load samples. If you go to each pad can have a type of sound, but you also can say make 24 sample pads, and you can drag and drop in here. And then if you drag and drop, let's see, here's a sample pad 24, and you see we have a lot of samples on board. But if you do your own drag and drop, your sample lands inside this folder, or you can pick a different folder. But then you see you can, in each pad you can stack up to 3 samples. So each pad can have 3 samples. You can mix them. You can let them play alternate or velocity switch, which is here. So a lot of options are inside. Yeah, it's possible to have different, somebody asked about the slices. Yeah, so what you can do, we have several, 2 things are important to know, because the FX section of Punch-2 if you go here, you see 4fx, which can have also this option to have different paths. You also can say we have 4fx, but 1, 2, and 3 are serial and then go into 4. Or let's say 1, 2 go into 3 and 4. So we have all kind of path options. And let's see. So this is something, where is it playing? Because that's a bit harder to see in this page. We need to improve that still a bit. Let's see which one this is. This is pad number 17. I think we have to make away that pad 17. There it is. It lights up, but it's not good enough. Something we can improve in an update, that it lights up a bit better in the FX page. So here I can say, go to reverb. And the reverb goes to the stereo delay here. Let's see if we can make that a bit. So the reverb into stereo delay, but the cool thing is that you also can say, hey, I take FX2 send, and then even although these two are after each other, so one goes into FX2, you still can do, because it's digital, you still can go only to FX2, which would normally be not possible if a hardware FX processes. So you see, even that 1 and 2 are in series, you still can go only to FX2. So the FX section is very versatile, and this is the default mode for Punch-2, which has 4 FX, different routings, path, and then you have 4 FX sends, just like a analog type of mixer or a mixer inside your music host program where you have an FX send. This means that you can send one path to 4 different FX at once, which are parallel or have a different connection. The original Punch-1, which you can select here, you can say Punch-1 FX mode. You click here and then you see everything changes, and then each pad has its own output. So you can say dry or go to the FX1, FX2, 3, 4. Then of course, if you go to FX1, you need to mix between wet and dry. So that's the original Punch mode, but default it is in an FX send mode. Oh. Then so if I go here back to the introduction bank, let me see. Jamal uses a lot of the original ones, so let me see if I take a Jamal preset. Yeah, you see it's here. Here it goes into 1 compressor, EQ. So this is most likely a original Punch-1 preset, and that one uses the Punch-1 FX mode. Tempo is too high, should be 100. How to drag drop the patterns to MIDI notes into the track. Yeah, that is a good one. So what I did, how to explain that? That's a good question, because if you have, for instance, a nice groove built in, and you like to have that as a MIDI file, you can go to patterns, and here you have a, so this is using in total then these 4 breaks, and could be everything together. It puts out as a MIDI file. So you go to command and you say export to MIDI. So I do this now with this preset, export to MIDI. It goes to this folder here in raw Papen Punch-2 MIDI, default folder it is. And I will call this one test me. And let's see what happens. Okay, so it's now a MIDI file. I can use drag and drop in Cubase. I close this one. I close also this one. Punch is here open. I go to this doc file, to my documents. I pick Punch-2, folder MIDI file. Here it is. There it is. Test me. What is important is that you pick a correct locator position. So it's nice on third bar. Not sure if you guys see it. Maybe I should make it a bit like this. So the third bar, I click on the third bar, and then I simply drag and drop this MIDI file from the folder into here. Okay. And with Cubase, it's important that you have the grid on quantized. Then it drops really on the first bar. And then you see what happens. Okay, let's see. Okay. So I'm not sure what happened here. So I have a MIDI file, but it's not as I expected. I'm not sure where I dropped it. Doesn't sound like the one we should have. And most likely I do something wrong. Good question. And Rob did forget how it worked. Okay. That's the wrong. I think that I know what happened. So I think it has to do that you first need to save it. Command, save pattern file. Okay, test case. So I'm trying it out because I forgot how it worked. Totally forgot. Test case. So it's now this one, and then export to MIDI. Maybe that's the trick. Test me. Yeah, I know it's already there. So okay. Another attempt. I throw this one away. So you see up here, use quantize, beat, I pick now. So if you drop a MIDI file, it takes it from the dropping point in case of Cubase. So then of course it's handy that you have it set that it lands on the first beat. So okay, I'm dropping it now again. And let's see. Also not the case. Okay. And most likely yeah. It's now I recall again. It's really the break you take you do as a MIDI file. So in this case, now I recall it again. So this test case is also wrong. That one I can essentially delete. So when I go to groove 1, you need to each groove you need to export, and then you need to stack them or how to use them in your track. So it's per groove, it's a MIDI file. So we're not going to use that one. No. Okay, let's take this one. So groove 3, command, export to MIDI. And now I record it again, hi-hat, groove, how it works. So now it's exported as a MIDI file. I close again Punch, go back to this document. You see export MIDI is this hi-hat groove. I throw this hi-hat groove now inside this. Okay, and then it should be okay, not that one. Mute. There it is. You hear it? It's only the hi-hats. So it's one. So that's what happens. I open it again. So if you want to extract the MIDI files from the grooves and breaks, you need to do this per break, per groove. So now I extract groove number 3, MIDI file, which is groove number 3 is this one. You hear that one, and that's now a MIDI file on this one. And now I start to recall what I did with Punch-1. You see, that's the one. And so let me go back to this this file. So this MIDI folder, 1 second. Because if you go into this folder from Punch-2, which is called Punch-2 MIDI, then you see a subfolder called Punch-1 MIDI. We did some screen prints, which will be in the next version, and you see how the how this folder is used for which preset. So if you see here 29 Magna, that is for this MIDI file from the original Punch was for this preset Magna. So the inside this MIDI file there will be an image to show you where this MIDI file is used, which preset, because the preset names are also in Punch-2, and you see the preset name and then you can use it. So what I did is extract these MIDI files, and what I did is simply combine them together. That's what I can recall. So if I would take here, for instance, one of the grooves from one bank, let's take, so this is folder, so this is the original Punch folder, order, Punch-1. And then if you go to Film Score 02, you see also again some MIDI files. And then I simply pick one, number 30. Let's see what happens. Throw it in here. Okay. Where is it? Did it drop? Oh, here it dropped. Yeah. That's Cubase, typically Cubase. So here you see it's much longer because the what I did is combine all the sequences together. So let's see. Of course, this sounds weird, but it's cool. Sometimes it's nice if you simply take a MIDI file and simply play it. This should be used with this preset. Let's see, this was MIDI file. Okay, now I don't know which one I used. Um, 12. So let's go and go here to this bank. Of course, the presets inside Punch-2 are more in one bank. The original Punch had 32 presets in each bank, but this one has, of course, the single files. So let's see how this sounds. I think one of these it was. No. So these are MIDI files, which are all inside in this folder, and just give them a try. Throw one of them, take another preset, and simply watch what happens. As mentioned, I'm not sure what I took. Maybe I should do it a bit better. Let's take preset number 30. Let's try it again. Drag and drop. Okay. So here we have the MIDI files from the Film Score TV02, which is the second folder in the original Punch. Preset 32 it was, and that was a MIDI file. I throw it inside here. Then for some reason it throws it there. Okay, now it's back. And I pick this preset, which is then, let's see, CHX groove. Okay, let's see how that one sounds. So this C groove X should be inside Punch-2, of course. Okay, I open Punch-2. So it's a bit of work, of course, to locate the presets. Here it is, C Edge X groove. And let's see, so this is a MIDI file for this, of course I don't know which tempo, but let's play it. Sounds a bit weird. Oh, I know why it sounds weird. Because the MIDI layout of the notes did change. Oh boy. Yeah, we need some rework on these because the notes are different. Ha, that's a good one. So we need to have some rework on this. I need to see how we can convert them better because we had with the original Punch, we had the general MIDI layout, but now everything is different, and so I'm not sure if this is an option in Punch-2. Not again. So everything is now as it should be. Okay, so we need some rework to get the MIDI files playing correctly because it didn't sound as it should sound. Okay, now the question is a good one. Could it be that everything is as one MIDI file? Let me see if that is a export to MIDI. No, not yet. It's only one break or one groove you can export, but I think it's not that hard for John to make a export all to MIDI. So I will write that down, and then of course you can use the these sequences which are inside of it. You can use them as a and load them into as a MIDI file. Of course, the slices is something people ask for, which is already very nice working. If you use slices, you can export the slice. So if you go here to a, let's see, introduction bank. Here we have a. So you uses the slices and it plays back through the pad. So this you can export to MIDI and that works perfect. But the older MIDI files, we need to rework them because the total mapping of the sounds, the 24 sounds, that totally changed with Punch-2. And of course, by the way, that would be of course a thing. This is then what I could do, of course, use this with the original Punch and see what it originally was. So I now the Punch-2, I take the original Punch, I go to this hip hop bank, then we can hear what it originally was, the C edge groove. Let's see if this now works out, because that should be now the case. That's better. So these are grooves which are using this this preset, and unlucky because of the mapping of the sounds, the MIDI files don't work with Punch-2. So we need to find, if we can find a solution for this. So this will be something we need to check out if we can do this, because there are some interesting grooves using this. Okay, because even the other one, no, that's not a good one. It really should be this. And what I did is simply have 4 bars this, 4 bars this, a break, so that you can cut off here. You can of course make your own sections where you want to have the break or not to break. So it's more a long list of possibilities you can use. So this is something we need to work on for Punch-2. Good thing, because what we did today, this week, is making the screenshots so that people can see. Okay, big Punch-2 again, so that people can see which presets are used for this MIDI file. So in the update, the next update, there would be this little image. But the problem is that, yeah, the MIDI file plays, and if you pick the right preset with the right name, it still doesn't sound okay because the mapping of the notes totally changed. But we will figure this out and check this out. Okay, let's go back to the chat room. Nice. Somebody is hanging out from Austin, Dell headquarters in Austin. Yeah, that's nice. Of course, we always stream 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock in the European Dutch Amsterdam time. But of course, it's the case that the people are on a different timetable. Do you okay, cancel? I'm hitting here the wrong things. Okay, let's go back. Okay, here we're back again. So about the patterns, that's one thing you need to keep in mind. Even so, now if you export MIDI, which you do here, export MIDI, it only exports one of the selected ones. So it's 4 tracks then. So then you need to stack them. And of course, we can make it the case that export all, and then you have everything playing at once. So that's a good idea for an update. But keep in mind, there are some features inside Punch-2 which you cannot export in the MIDI file. So if I go, for instance, to the snare here, I have additional features. I can have, for instance, the snare here on a different tuning. Lower, or the envelope speed. Well, these things, if you do export MIDI from Groove 1, these two things are not taken in account. So it still can be the case that you simply need to hit this to record it. And you still can, because this snare is used here, this snare, where is it? You see in the main screen? So I still can play, and you see it on the keyboard, I still can play down here the 24 sound. So you also can combine it. So if you have, now I have of course already a punch playing in the background. So let's see. Let me show it to you. You see now when I hit this here, I can have Predator and an older punch. So this is punch playing also. And I have a second punch, and I can do some live triggering. Okay, let's make, I think it's a bit too long. Let's make it to bar 9, so it cycles. So if I hit now, I start recording the sequencer. And of course, now it can use the record and the same snare. So I make some noise. So this is now recorded, and you see, if you open this, this is the sequencer, which is triggered, which is one long note. And if you look at punch, and these are the single pads down here, which I played. Nothing is quantized, so it's pretty straight. Even if you don't quantize, it's pretty catching up very well. So let's play it again. So you see what I'm doing now is I play this groove. First, I hear it plays the groove, stops playing. So it's also the case that you really need to use this sequence of the built-in grooves really in a creative way. So well, the tempo is a bit low. I take simply another preset here. Whatever. Just pick one from Jamal. I do the same. Okay, but I delete now. So this is a pretty low beat, but let's keep it low beat. This one is 115. So there's a drum guide track playing behind, and now I'm playing live the grooves here. I'll take another preset. And you see me playing simply by triggering the sounds. This groove 2, groove 3 and groove 4 is playing. I still can play here, I think. So that's really the approach, and I had really trouble explaining this once we released Punch. The first Punch, people didn't understand. Oh, how is that happening? It's you fire a groove or a break, and of course we call it break, but it's essentially each groove, each break is 4 tracks, which you can see here. And then, yeah, the weird thing is that you can do some different things. So you see here, this one has a shorter envelope speed. You can make it longer or detune it. Yeah, that's a way to go. So have the groove as a bass, and then you play the rest together with it. Definitely. Okay. I'm checking the chat room. Yeah, a lot of Punch, and still we had no time to go to B.I.T and the new filter type. Oops. Yeah, so Punch-2, you see now, this is changed. If you have something selected for editing, it glows around this dial, also in the advanced page. So you see bass drum. Nice bass drum. Let's make it longer. That's also new. You can have it tuned. The curve. Very nasty long bass drum. Yeah, Punch is so this is the advanced bass where you really can add it deeply the different types of sounds. So the models you can select here, or one of the built-in samples you can select here and tweak them around. Down here you have where you still can select which you like to add it, you know. Then the breaks are still visible here, because I noticed while working you sometimes also simply want to play it. So yeah, we did release yesterday this update. So if you go to the back panel, version 1.01, some new presets, some little bug fixes we did, and of course then some little improvements. And of course we have a update planned in the pattern mode where you can have a more sequenced mode, which is maybe for people who know sub-boom bass, which sub-boom bass 2 has that also. So yeah, you can go any direction with this machine. It's you can still, that's what I mentioned in the tutorial, which you can find, is you can still be on the main page and do a lot of things and have a lot of fun already. But if you like tweaking, yeah, there's so much to tweak in Punch-2. It will take ages to get everything out of there. It's not based, it's synthesis, it's sample based, it has slices, top-notch FX, yeah, you name it. Okay, so if maybe then somebody asked how we switch between different grooves when I play live. Yeah, simply it's if you go to the pattern page, we have the range, so 20 from C1. So if you have a 5-octave keyboard, from C1 until B2 are all the single sounds. It's all the 24 pads. If you start from C3 up to, in this case, it's even up to A3, you trigger one of the grooves, or for instance the loop play, which is in this case not active because there's no slice. But C3 starts groove 1, groove 2 is D3, so this is the layout you also can see here. Break 3. And if you have a guide, what I do now, so there's a guide in the background, which is also drum, and you pick one preset. I take now another one, brushy slice, which has also slice. You know, I trigger these slices. And you see it down here, you see I hit the note A3. And then, of course, I could also trigger one of the other ones. Just play number 3. Or make it more. Sometimes there are some presets which don't have nothing played. This one has a water bongo. Crash. So even could have it as a break. So if I would play it now, I use this one as a crash. Of course I can play also here a crash. And the cool thing is, if you, of course you have the nature to start on the first beat, but the groove or breaks you also can start on the second beat. See, let's show this. So this is the bass drum and snare. Simply start on the first beat, but I also could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It's a bit strange for this one, but then you start on a different beat. The groove 2 is the hi-hat. You see, then now on the second start, or started on the 1. Even the slice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Punch is really for the creative minds. This is essentially the way I thought how you can use the grooves and breaks in a very creative way, simply by starting them in. Okay. Yeah, and what's mentioned, I just trigger now the grooves, but you still can play manually some things. So if everybody is happy about Punch-2, and if somebody already owns it, download the latest version if not done already. And yeah, in the future we will have lots more presets, of course, and this sequence mode we add to the pattern mode. So and until now we had very many happy users already and a very great response to Punch-2, and I can tell you we worked for months on this this monster, and we are very happy with it, very proud. It's really a drum machine, drum synthesizer. It's I think it's there's nothing out there which has so many features as Punch-2. I'm pretty sure about that. Oh, we got the Sinterklaas groetjes. Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you, Scott. Okay, so what is also planned? Yeah, for December this month, we hopefully also have a new version of B.I.T. People ask for these zero latency filters. We have them already very longer period. And although I'm not always a fan of them, they sound a bit colder than the other filters. It still has some cool options. And I was playing, let's see, one preset I used with this one in the pads. It's called Zero F Sweep. What's this one? And what I use also here, velocity, if I hit fast harder, the attack is getting shorter. So of course I need to put down the microphone, otherwise you hear too much of the clacking. So when I play soft, it comes out very slow. When I hit it harder, the attack is faster. So then, well, this is the 12 dB zero latency filter. Let's play this. That we did this also last week. Compare this with the 12 dB filter type 1. I need to increase a bit the resonance to get the sound a bit the same. So let's go back to the zero latency, 12 dB. Yeah, it's a bit different sound, especially with resonance. It's type 1, type 2, and the zero latency. Maybe it's best that I show it without the resonance, because the resonance, the difference in level in terms of resonance. So I put down the resonance, and then I'll see how things sound. So this is the zero latency. So to be low pass filter 1, which is a ladder filter. And this one is the type 2, which is more comparable to a Japanese synthesizer, so it's a more cleaner filter. More mellow. You can clearly hear the difference between 1 and 2. And this is number 2. There's a bit more sparkling in the high end with the low pass filter 2 to my ears. And then let's go to the zero latency. It's more closer to the low pass filter 1, but it sounds a bit colder to my ears, but maybe I'm crazy. Okay, 0 latency. Yeah, of course, up to you. But in terms of difference, the biggest difference is, of course, when you use the resonance. The resonance is louder from the 0 latency in B.I.T. So, yeah, this is one of the new presets. We work on some new presets for you guys as well. And I was tweaking around another sound, which I wanted to finish together with you guys in the last remaining minutes. No, not that one. Oh, this is, by the way, nice sound. Weird how noise can be nice, isn't it? Okay, somebody else heard it also about the 0 latency filter. Yeah, that's the reason why of course, yeah, if people like to have it, we added to it, but it was not my first personal taste. But with the resonance, I think it's an interesting thing. I did some resonance sounds, so this is nice. If you have this one with a beat, let's go a bit higher with the beat. So this is the resonance. This is a preset I made, and this one, which is a shorter one. It's more Kraftwerk. Squeaks. Always nice. You also can hear how fast the envelopes are. Very fast. So let's do this with a 24 dB auto filter. Yeah, you see, the resonance is really different. It's a bit more milder. And there's, of course, then also this risk with the 0 latency filter that you okay, let's click original. Then I have is that this is a bandpass filter, which is nice for squeaks, but you need to be careful with the volume because it's pretty loud. So you get these squeaks. You see, it's pretty punchy. It's nice for these Kraftwerk type of no delay. Nice with a bit of delay. It's more groovy. Well, yeah, so I'm working a bit on presets, and then this one I wanted to finish. Okay. Where was it again? Ah. No. Oh, Catcher Modeler. That's the preset. So it's not finished. So what is nice with B.I.T is that you have filter 1 and filter 2, and you can split them. So oscillator 1 goes into filter 1, and filter 2 gets oscillator 2. And this one has a nice sequence, and then if you hit this one, It's too noisy, so I can go down. And then there is a trick, what we have, that makes B.I.T so essentially modular, is that if you click here, you have the advanced page. So I'm going to shut it down. See the waveforms. Then I can say I have too much noise in this oscillator 1 sound. So this sound from oscillator 1 was the squeak. It's too long. And if you change then here the amplifier, then it changes also the other sound, because the filter 2 with oscillator 2 also goes to this amplifier part. Well, then there is a solution. Simply here inside oscillator 1, go click the advanced panel, and you can set here the envelope on volume of this oscillator. So each oscillator also can have a volume envelope. You open the amount, and I can make it shorter. And now it's better. And maybe you think, okay, this is not bad at all. So I can save this one. So this is not bad at all. Yeah, someone is a good question. Will the B.I.T update also in Xplore 5? Yeah, we will also upload Xplore 5 with the update of B.I.T. Sure. And what you also still can do is, if you see that takes a bit too long time, go down in the download page of Xplore 5, because if you scroll down, you also have the single installers, and you simply can download the single installer of B.I.T and run this to have also this newer version. But it's not out yet. We're working on it now. And so what I did now here in I have these clicks, but maybe you think, okay, I don't want to have them on all of these tabs. Then we have another option, the up free row. We can also use the up free row to control the volume. I open this 100%. And now it should be the case. Let's see if that's really the case. Of course, I need to bring the steps which don't need -100. So the volume of the step 3 and 5 for the, okay. Let's see. Now I only have this one playing, only step 1, step number 9, and step number 13. So now it's better. So now this is oscillator 1, goes to filter 1, only on particular steps. And so now it's already better. So it's purely an example. I'm not sure if this is a useful sound. Let's see how it sounds with a beat. Oh, here I see that one should be. I can open the modulation wheel for the second filter. Make it a bit bigger. So it's really have the combination. I like this one, so let's keep this one as a preset. You will find this one. Of course, I need also not forget to tag it. Arpeggiator sound is this. It's maybe also a bit of a beat. It is percussive. It has an effects modulation wheel. Change it. It's tempo synced. Yeah, it's and apply and save, and then it's also tagged. Yeah, a B.I.T has built-in oversampling. Yeah, definitely. It's of course, if you have a very fast system and you run 88.1 or 96 kilohertz, it's even more great. But it has it uses oversampling to have the good audio quality. We use that also in the other ones, of course, to maintain the audio quality. But we did some little tricks inside B.I.T to have this typically analog type of sound, and it's very close. And I did a live stream with this lead sound to show you. I had the Minimoog next to it, and played also on the B.I.T, and of course, okay, now I'm gonna click the back panel. What's this one? So if you can afford a Minimoog, you can afford a B.I.T for sure, because that's a fraction of the price, and you can, if you would like to create music, you have all the sounds you need for that. Of course, it's cool to have a Minimoog, but it's they are rare and not very cheap. And okay. Oh, I'm checking here. Yes, guys, I'm already 7 minutes over time. Oh, yeah, and but it was fun. It's always fun to do the live streams. I had also last week I did one on Facebook, but the audio quality of Facebook is not so good. And I showed a bit of about Punch-2. So keep an eye in December. Hopefully, we will have it out very soon. B.I.T, of course. We keep on developing new sounds for Punch-2 also. And yeah, I would say don't be afraid to turn these dials. It's fun. And thank you for watching. It's in the playlist, this video. So in case you missed it or you want to see it back again, check the playlist and the date and you will find it back. Thank you for watching and keep well, guys.